Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Chantex Multimedia Live production. And today we're bringing to you all the news live in the late edition. As we know, on some days we have the late edition when we have some important functions. And today we had the white ribbon morning tea at Government House. I'll bring all that information up to you. And of course, we're heading into the weekend. What is this weekend going to look like weather-wise? With that, let's welcome Dilraj.
Good afternoon everyone. Weather forecast for the rest of today is maximum 27 degree. Brisbane area is partly cloudy with medium chances of rain. Light winds becoming northeasterly 15 to 25 km per hour in the middle of the day and then becoming light in the evening. Fire danger is low to moderate. Sun protection is recommended till 3 past 10 and UV index is predicted to reach 9, that is very high. And tomorrow minimum will be 19 and maximum will be 28. Brisbane area will be partly cloudy with medium chances of rain. Light winds becoming north to northeasterly 15 to 30 km per hour in the morning. Sun protection is recommended till 3:15 and UV index is predicted to reach 10, that is very high. On Sunday, again minimum will be 19 and maximum will be 30. Brisbane area will be partly cloudy with high chances of rain. Winds northeasterly 15 to 20 km per hour becoming light during the morning, then becoming northerly 15 to 20 km per hour during the day. Sun protection is recommended till 3 past 10 and UV index is predicted to reach 10, that is very high. Till tomorrow, stay safe and enjoy a lovely weekend.
And of course the grand final weekend here in Brisbane, and thank you very much for that update, Dilraj. Well, right now let's go into the news and let's take a look at the headlines and what's making news in this week. As we know that we are all leading into this big AFL weekend. What is this AFL going to look like here in Brisbane? We will look at that in a minute. But first of all, let's go to the headlines for today.
.net.au and on iView, here are today's top stories. Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews says the state is well placed to make significant announcements on the easing of COVID restrictions on Sunday after just one infection was recorded overnight. Melbourne's 14-day average has fallen to just 5.5, while in regional Victoria it's 0.3. The number of cases in Melbourne with an unknown source remains at 10. Dozens of men have been charged and police say they've removed 16 children from harm as a result of a nationwide investigation into child exploitation. 44 men aged between 19 and 57 are facing 350 charges of possessing child exploitation material. The alleged offenders were employed in a range of occupations including transport, law enforcement and hospitality. US President Donald Trump is expected to use today's final presidential debate to level allegations of improper business dealings at his challenger Joe Biden. The two contenders will share a stage in Nashville where they'll be questioned on coronavirus, national security, climate change and racial issues. Microphones will be muted at times to prevent interruptions. And Richmond and Geelong are expected to name unchanged lineups ahead of tomorrow night's AFL Grand Final at the Gabba. In the Rugby League, the Melbourne Storm are preparing at the Sunshine Coast Hub before Sunday night's grand final match against the Penrith Panthers in Sydney.
The headlines for today, and of course, as I mentioned before, everyone's just getting ready for that big weekend, the AFL Grand Final for the first time ever here in Brisbane. Well, it's been completely sold out and they made a few allowances for some extra seats which were grabbed up in seconds and minutes. As soon as they released those online, boom, they were gone. Well, right now, let's get an update from our Minister, Stephen Miles, to see how the cases are happening right here in Brisbane.
Good morning. Today we're confirming 2 additional cases for Queensland. However, these are the 2 crew members that we discussed yesterday. So we were well aware of their positive test results. They've now been transferred to the Central Coast University Hospital, and now that they are on the mainland and they are counted in Queensland. numbers for the national and global reporting, which means we now have 6 active cases. Our total number of cases since this pandemic began in January is now 1,167. We completed 4,783 tests in the last testing period. Of course, that very low number, 6 active cases, compares to what's happening in the rest of the world. For example, in the United Kingdom, in the last testing period, they recorded a new record, 26,688 cases in a 24-hour period. They have right now 6,479 people in hospital. That's exactly the scenario we were preparing for here, and it's the scenario that we managed to avoid. Queensland managed to avoid thanks to our strong health response. Thanks to our closed international borders, our state border restrictions, our testing regime. We were one of the first places in the country and the world to have testing up and running. Our testing rates, we've maintained very high testing rates, close to that target of 5,000 each and every day. Our wastewater testing is a new and very valuable source of intelligence. And of course, our hotel quarantine program has been incredibly effective. You know, every single week we have 1,000 people going into that hotel quarantine. Now more than 20,000 people have arrived from overseas and been in Queensland's hotel quarantine, and we've not had a single linked outbreak. That, of course, compares to some other states where they have seen outbreaks from their hotel quarantine because their processes have not been as effective as ours, and, of course, New South Wales, where they had those cases off the Ruby Princess. Our agencies have worked incredibly closely together, and that, along with all of the other elements of our health response, has ensured that we have kept Queenslanders safe. Our hotel quarantine program has been particularly effective and important in that response.
Well, that is wonderful news, and I think as far as Queensland is concerned, in that terms, I think we have done well, looking at the numbers and looking at the outbreak. But as the Minister was saying, there are 20,000 people have been in the hotel quarantine, so that's a huge cost to the taxpayers there on that. And of course, I know that in the last end of the quarantine period, people were asked to pay by themselves, but I mean in the very beginning, all the bills were paid by the state government. Well, right now, let's hear from our Prime Minister as he came out of that National Press Conference today.
All those who've gathered, a remarkable and wonderful Australian, and we thank her greatly for her service to our country. Also, just moments ago, 161 Australians touched down from London in Darwin as part of a series of flights that the government has been organising to support other changes in cap arrangements, which is steadily and surely ensuring that more and more Australians are getting home. And I'll come back to that in reporting on the outcomes of the National Cabinet. And of course, the Acting Chief Medical Officer, Paul Kelly, will report on the usual matters. At National Cabinet today, we agreed in principle, given that we had a number of jurisdictions today who are in caretaker arrangements, that constrains a bit of what they can do at each meeting. Even here in the ACT, while the outcome there was fairly clear, they are still not finalised in those arrangements, so technically in the ACT they were still in caretaker. But we agreed in principle, again with the exception of Western Australia, and their reservations were outlined on a previous occasion, with the reopening framework for Australia by Christmas, and this is the plan, and it sets it out. It'll be very familiar, I think, to many, the reopening plan to get Australia open by Christmas of this year. Importantly, this plan not only details the opening of the various activities within our economy and within our community and society. An important part of this plan is that it includes the necessary actions that are needed on a public health response to support that plan. And the work that Alan Finkel has been doing, in particular the work that has been done on hotel quarantine and improvements in all of those areas, are vital and essential to the achievement of that goal. By the end of this year, Premiers and Chief Ministers reiterated their support for that goal today, and we have made further progress, and that will come back again to National Cabinet when it next meets on the 13th of November. and indeed, where things can be progressed before that, they will be. But over that time, we will also have further actions coming from the Finkel work that has been done around tracing mechanisms around the country, as I'd indicated after our last meeting. We also agreed the recommendations of the hotel quarantine review that was undertaken by Jane Holton, and that report will be released after this media conference. It was also agreed to develop a risk stratification approach, as it is known, to international arrivals and their quarantining arrangements. Now, one of the great challenges, as we discussed today, particularly early on in the pandemic, was there were many things that had to be done extremely quickly to respond. And what we want to be is in a position as we go forward, and when we're in a position to make decisions down the track, not today, but down the track, when it comes to other types of international arrivals that may be able to come to Australia again, when we're in a position where we can reopen some of those arrangements, particularly in relation to things like international students and migration, these types of things, then we want to be sure that we've worked the options well, we've trialled and tested them, so we can give Australians great confidence that when we're in a position to do that, we have worked through those. So whether that's quarantining in-home, on-farm, in camp, at a mining camp, on campus, any of these options we'll be looking at and working together with states and territories to both identify and trial some of these options. So when we're in a position to make further decisions on arrivals to Australia, then they will be well worked through and we can have a great degree of confidence about their implementation when that occurs.
Yes, so the implementation of those policies on the international arrivals, everyone will be watching that with great interest to see how that is managed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, that today, we are bringing to you the late edition, as we do from time to time, and the late edition being that this morning we were at a morning tea at the Parliament House, and that was for White Ribbon Queensland. And White Ribbon Queensland State Conference is tomorrow, so we're very busy preparing for our state conference, which will happen tomorrow. As Chu Hing Chan is the state chair and I'm the co-chair, so we've been busy making all those arrangements. Unfortunately, our annual dinner has been cancelled because of IFL tomorrow night. So the conference going ahead, and we've had our morning tea at the Government House this morning, and we've got that out of the way. But when we're looking at our events, normally our state conference finishes by 4, then we all go to the Government House for pre-dinner drinks, and then we used to come for our dinner. But this year, under the current circumstances, it was slightly different. So here's some glimpses of what happened at the Government House this morning. Of course, we're not allowed to take photos inside, so these photos are from outside in the courtyard. So there's Chu Hing, and of course, is a wonderful and a great and a leader and a tireless worker. And it's amazing how he can find that much energy to do what he really does, and just keeps going. And there's some of the other people all getting together. You can see Pile there, and Dr. Das Gupta there, JD, as we know him, and of course the surrounds there at the Government House is always just beautiful. No matter how many times you go there, you just love it. And I was fortunate to be there third time in this year, even during the pandemic. And here's the lineup. So as you can see, our national CEO in the center is Brad Chilcott, who has come all the way from South Australia, and some of our team members there, and advocates, and Adam Greening, he's come all the way from Cairns. So we had quite a good representation at our morning tea this morning at the Government House. And as I said, tomorrow is our state conference. We're getting very ready for that. And moving forward, we will be making some announcements of some of the functions and events that would be taking place right here in Queensland. And in this photo, you can see Kay McGrath. As you know, Kay McGrath has been a strong supporter and advocate of white ribbon and prevention of domestic violence. And of course, turning on the previous picture, I must point out that we had previous Police Commissioner Bob Atkinson, who is also an advocate and a life member of the organization. So he is there to show his support as well. So it was wonderful to see that support coming in from everyone. And hence we are right in bringing to you today's live segment. And as I said, from time to time we will have incidences where we might not be able to bring to you this live at the time. So most of the times, it's 10 a.m. in the morning, or if there are functions and events in the morning, then we'll bring to you in the afternoon, mainly around 2 p.m. Well, today we are going to be looking at Brisbane Indian Times once again. As we know, from time to time, once every month, we bring to you what's happening with the upcoming issue and upcoming edition, and also we highlight some aspects of our newspaper on that. With that, we'd like to welcome to the show Dr. Charita Deshpande. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Umeshji. A warm welcome to all our viewers to this episode of Brisbane Indian Times and Australian Indian Radio Updates.
And thank you very much. And right now, as we know, upcoming, we are in the Navratri. So, wishing you all the best for Navratri as well. And everyone, as we go through these nights, of course, it ends up with coming Diwali. So with upcoming Diwalis, what can our viewers expect to see in the Diwali edition?
Yes. So happy Navratri to all our viewers as well. And it's an absolute pleasure to explain about our upcoming Diwali edition. So we are looking forward to our upcoming Diwali edition, which will be published on 14th November 2020 on the actual Diwali day. This Diwali edition is the most popular edition of the year. We can expect the paper to be filled with Diwali wishes, tributes, amazing articles and thought-provoking articles, businesses wishing their customers a happy Diwali, lots and lots of colorful festive vibes, and many more. This is the most popular edition of the year, which attracts over 90,000 readership. And this year, we are really expecting it to be more and more even.
So that's wonderful. That's some Diwali offers that's coming. So what are the promotions for this edition?
Yes, we do have many promotions going on now. In the prospect of upcoming Diwali, we have planned few amazing deals to help our community more better. As we all know, year 2020 has defined new normal in every aspect of life. This year we have derived a new definition for everything. Events are happening online, meetings are being conducted through internet media, so festivals are not an exception to that. This Diwali will be unique. We may not have a chance to celebrate in person with friends, but you can share your joy and pass your wishes to everyone far and near. Brisbane Indian Times Diwali issue will have a special section of Diwali Shubh Sandesh, meaning Diwali well wishes. Also, Australian Indian Radio will feature your wishes on Facebook Live segment. So let us be the bridge between you and your loved ones.
Well, wonderful, and that is so nice that there's so many deals that are going on, especially with the upcoming Diwali. Well, right now, if you look at our website, so in today's episode, let's explain a little bit about our website to all our viewers. So, if you can go through our website and explain to our viewers what they can find on the website and how they can navigate their way through the website.
Sure, Umeshji. So basically you can use any internet browser like Google Chrome, Safari, Firefox or any other browser of your choice and comfort. Then we will have to type Brisbane Indian Times or indiantimes.com.au. So then we will get the recommendation list. So select the option Brisbane Indian Times. So this will take you to our website homepage. So what do we see in our homepage? So we have different options on the header, home, business directory, classified, community contacts, astrology, editorials, what's on, and book and ad section. So I'll go through each of them in detail. So as we scroll down on the home page, so we have featured events. So these featured events displays the events supported by Brisbane Indian Times and Australian Indian Radio. Then we have our upcoming event section, which displays various events happening in and around Brisbane. Then you can find the local news. So in this section, we can see all the current happenings around us. Then comes our offers and discounts section. This section will give you a glimpse of the offers we can offer you. So if you want to know in more detail about these offers, you can call us on 0430-193-715 or email us at sales@indiantimes.com.au. Then, as we scroll down, we also have Fiji news, Bollywood news, and Hindustan Times news. And then we can see all these are the real news brought to you at your fingertips. So we have many other options to keep our readers updated with current things happening around. On the right hand side of the home page, we can see our current edition newspaper, and then we have our esteemed advertisers who are on our home page. So this will give their business a very good exposure. Then moving on to the next section, so we have business directory. So when we click on the business directory, we have different subsections in which the businesses will be listed. For example, Indian clothing, professional services, financial services, education and learning, restaurants, and many more. So depending on what you are really looking for, you'll have to select the services and then look for various businesses listed under that. You will find the business name, contact details like email, contact number, and website. And then you'll also find address and directions in the map. Overview of the business, like what they do and how they operate. So the basic idea is this will be your one-stop shop for you to get more idea about the business. Then we also have our classified section. If we go on to the next one in our header, we'll have the classified section. So here we will have sections for job openings or any other requirements of the business, matrimonial adverts, and so on. Then if we move on to the next one, we have community contacts, where you can find the contacts of the community organizations. So we encourage all the community organizations to fill in their details in this section to help our readers to get more and more information about the community organizations. So in the next section, we have astrology. So you can see how your zodiac will make your day look like. And then we have an editorial section. So this is the new edition. If you go onto our home page and click on the editorial section, so this is a new addition to our website where we are trying to promote our authors and spread their work to more and more people. We have an amazing collections of articles already. We are looking forward to this section. So as time flies, we'll have a library on our website where you can find any articles of your interest, read it anytime at the comfort of yours. How wonderful is that? This will also provide a platform to all the authors who have amazing writing and comprehension skills. So I would recommend everyone to read these amazing collection. And then we have What's On section, in which information about various events happening in the community is always updated time to time.
Okay, so that's wonderful there that you have shown us how to go around the website. So now if people want to read online, what do they have to do?
Absolutely. So when we want to read the newspaper online, so we can go to our home page. And when we go to our home page, on the right hand section, we have our current issue of the newspaper. And now we have October 2020 edition there. And when we click on the newspaper, it will direct us to the issue. And there we can start reading our newspaper. And we just have to scroll through the news and go to the next page and keep on reading and enjoy your reading.
So that is all available through first going on to the home page and then navigating your way to the newspaper. Okay, so just coming back onto the web page itself, what can people do if they want to book an ad, and if they don't have time to call anyone, if they want to book an online, do we have an online booking facility?
Yes, we have sorted that as well. So we have now bookings online. So if you go to our home page again, and on the header we have book and ad section. So on the book and ad, you will get various options there. For instance, if I want to book a full page ad, so I will have to select full page. Then it will give me the subselections again. So what I'm really looking for, depending on the thing, on the nature of the ad and how big the ad is, so I will have to select the spot and how many ad bookings. If it is just one booking, next 2 editions, next 3 editions, so we will get options, and if we keep on selecting, then it will ask us to take to the next page, and then we will have to fill all the details here. So once we fill all the details, then it will take us, I'll have to fill all the details here, but once we fill all the details, then it will take us to the next section. So booking can be done online, which is very easy and very easily accessible. You can book it in your computer, on your mobile. It's very easy thing to do nowadays.
That is amazing that people can, because I think that is the way that things are going these days. People like to, book things from the comfort of their own homes as well. So talking about bookings, what's the current deadline? What's the for the upcoming issue?
Yes, for Diwali edition, it is 30th of October 2020, and we'd like to receive all the bookings before that, so that we'll have enough time to collaborate everything and then present our beautiful newspaper.
Well, thank you very much for that. And now, if people like to, subscribe to the newspaper to get updates and whatever, how can they do that, and what do they need to do?
Yes, so for that, we'll have to again go to our website, and then on our website, on the home page, if you scroll down, there is a little section there which says you can subscribe to our newsletter. So if you put your email, that will come to us, and then we will put you in our campaigning database, and then you'll start receiving our newsletter. And then and we have a Facebook page as well. Please go to our Facebook page, like our Facebook page, and then you'll receive all the updates, and then you can stay informed.
Well, thank you very much for those updates. And ladies and gentlemen, as Dr. Chita has said, that if you like to be in the Diwali edition, now is the time to move. Get up and contact her on the either the phone or the email. So how can they contact you?
Yes, they can obviously call me on 0430-193-715, and also you can email us at sales@indiantimes.com.au. Umeshji, I also have some other things to share here. So we have few promotions, other promotions in regards to the Diwali edition. So which is business and community organizations can also wish a happy Diwali to all their customers, clients, and the community organizations. And then we also have our, this is the Diwali Diwali offer for businesses. And then we also have our designer designer Diwali card and then winner gift competition. So here we have design a poster or greeting card for Brisbane Indian Times, Australian Indian Radio, and GlobeNet Realty to wish everyone a happy and prosperous Diwali. So all these entries should be received before 31st October, and you can post it at PO Box 197 Tegam 4018, or also you can, if it is a soft card, you can also email it to us at sales@indiantimes.com.au. Here, age is not a criteria. Kids can craft it, elders can convey a traditional message, or designing company can design it. So the efforts taken in card making will be highly appreciated. Also, Umeshji, we have few other promotions which are helping the businesses to come back into the proper channel of economy. In this post-pandemic phase, we are still offering startup business deals and build your banner deals to help businesses have a path for economic recovery. We understand that starting a new business can be stressful, but we can take care of your advertising part through our startup business package deals. And if you are planning to build your social profile, then we have got you covered as well. If you want to know more about these details, you can contact us on 0430-193-715, or you can also email us at sales@indiantimes.com.au.
So excellent. That's all the things that are on offer. So ladies and gentlemen, please do take up that offer, which will be wonderful to see that there are so many offers that are available at this point in time, coming up to Diwali, and wishing everyone all the best for Diwali. So Charita, thank you so much for all the information that you have shared with everyone, and I hope that the coming Diwali edition will be a bumper issue for our readers and our clients.
Absolutely, sir. We are also looking forward to this Diwali edition, and also I would like to extend our big thank you to all our clients for advertising your business through us. More gratitude to all our prospects for expressing your interest in advertising in our upcoming Diwali edition. We will soon come up with more information and amazing ideas and amazing deals for our upcoming edition. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay positive, and don't forget to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and that's been wonderful. And that was Dr. Charita Deshpande with all the updates today on what's happening with the upcoming edition of Brisbane Indian Times. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, let's keep moving on with the news. And news in brief, IFP arrests one of the alleged offenders as part of the Operation Molto in Sydney's West. Here's that news. And as we can see, 44 men have been charged with possessing child exploitation material across Australia, and some have been charged with producing abusive content there as well. Well, the next footage that I'm going to show could be a little bit disturbing, because in here, people, when they take their kids to child care center, I know they expect them to be looked after. The two kids who almost ran onto the main highway walking through the open gate of Okie Dokie Kids in Coomera. So let's take a look at that clip. So that's the clip from Coomera, near, very close to Okie Dokie Kids. And as you can see from that photo, there were the kids were just about to go on that busy road when they were stopped. So, ladies and gentlemen, moving on with the news. Now we have the next news is quite disturbing as well. 50 sexual assaults a week in aged care. How sick is that? As many as 50 elderly people were sexually assaulted in aged care within their homes, and this is just one of the shocking revelations that have come out.
Jennifer Lyne had a career in aged care, but it's only in retirement she's become an advocate for fellow residents.
The privatisation of aged care has made a huge difference. There's less skill. There are less RNs, and there is much more dementia.
The 87-year-old and her friends made a submission to the Royal Commission into Aged Care.
Residential care, however hard they try, it's someone else's rules, someone else's food, someone else's schedule.
Lawyers running the commission started making their final submissions to the inquiry today.
People making submissions raise concerns about neglect, emotional abuse, physical abuse or assault, restrictive practices, financial abuse and sexual abuse or assault.
Disturbingly, the Commission heard an estimated 50 elderly people are sexually assaulted in homes each week.
Commissioners, this is a national shame. High quality aged care is not being delivered on a systemic level.
Council Assisting have made more than 120 recommendations. It includes mandated staffing levels, registering support workers and new laws based on human rights. There's also a proposal for a demand-driven approach to aged care places, an independent pricing authority, a new Inspector General and a permanent aged care commission. But commissioners are split on one reform, with Linnell Briggs against an expensive new commission in favour of a revamped health department.
Under such a model, the department will be staffed appropriately and resourced properly.
Jennifer Lyne hopes the commission addresses ageism.
Engage with...
And I really, really hope that the Commission is able to do something, because that is just terrible news there. All those promotions that have been put forward and the recommendations that have been made need really to be implemented, as they will have long-faring consequences. Well, right now it's time to go for a commercial break, and with that, we'd like to welcome GlobeNet Realty, our sponsors for this segment, and thank you for them. And their support
GlobeNet
always.
Realty. GlobeNet Realty has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Washa Chandra, Director of GlobeNet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetralty.com.au. GlobeNet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Boondall. GlobeNet Realty. Real estate is our world.
And real estate is the world. Well, right now, we're talking about wealth. Let's go to some wealth news. FBI confirms that Iran and Russia have been attempting to influence U.S. election.
Tim O'Brien is a columnist with Bloomberg in New York. I began by asking him for a little bit more information about the Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe.
It's troubling with Ratcliffe because he's a very political figure and he politicizes information in the worst sense of the word. And we're at this troubling moment around U.S. foreign policy, national security issues, and domestic policy, where everything has become so intensely partisan that I think it's hard for people on the outside to discern what is and what isn't credible information. Now, having said that, this news today originated from the FBI. There is credible evidence that both Iran and Russia hacked local servers. We got, interestingly, more information about Iran than we did about Russia. I think that's problematic because the Iran information suggested that they're trying to influence the election on President Trump's behalf. And very little information was given out about what Russia did.
What are Iran's motivations for trying to intervene against Donald Trump?
As you know, the U.S. has had a very hardline policy towards Iran. The nuclear agreement was voided. Trump has made no bones about the fact that he wants a harder stance towards Iran. One of the leading military figures in Iran was taken out earlier this year. And Iran is a state sponsor of terrorism around the Middle East. Iran is a complex and divisive presence in Middle Eastern politics.
So with that politics, as we know, overseas influence into the U.S. elections is what's being alleged there. Well, right now on another news, Jai Hindley wins stage 18 and almost crashes trying to put on the jersey at Giro d'Italia. Wonderful cycling, but, putting on the jersey is another matter.
I'm afraid is off the virtual podium now. Joao Almeida off the podium, Theo Gegenhardt onto it. Oh dear, oh no! And that nearly ended in tears for Jai Hindley, who's been struggling for the last few hundred metres to put this rain jacket on. His problem here is that he's got to hold the wheel. Oh, now we're going to see Hindley having the same problem. Whoever you're supporting, whoever you're watching, we want to see a fight. That's what we want.
Managed to get it on.
Quella che è la situazione al traguardo, abbiamo detto
dall'Australia per il team Sunweb.
Well done there, but how scary was that trying to put on a jacket, a jersey while riding there? Well, next news is President Donald Trump walks out of a 60 minutes interview with CBS journalist. Only he can do it.
I didn't want to have this kind of thing.
Of course you did.
No, I didn't.
Of course you did.
No, I didn't.
Well, then you brought up a lot of subjects that
I said
were
I'm going to ask
inappropriately
you
brought
tough
up.
questions.
They were inappropriately brought up right from the beginning. No, your first question was, "This is going to be tough questions." Well, when you set up the interview, your first statement
You're
was,
president. Don't
Excuse
you think
me,
you
no,
should
no,
be
no.
accountable to the
Listen,
American people?
your first statement to me, "This is going to be tough questions." Well, I don't mind that. But when you set up the interview, you didn't say that. You said, "Oh, let's have a lovely interview." And here's what I do say.
So what?
You don't ask Joe Biden. I saw your interview with Joe, the interview with
I
Joe
never
Biden.
did a Joe
It was a
Biden
joke. The interview, 60 Minutes. I see Joe Biden giving softball after softball. I've seen all of his interviews. He's never been asked a question that's hard.
Okay, but forget him for a minute.
No, but you
You're
start with
president.
me.
You're president. and-
Excuse me, Leslie, you started with me. Your first statement was, "Are you ready for tough questions?" That's no way to talk. No way to talk.
Leslie, one second. This is the first warning. I think we have 5 minutes until we have the Vice President step in. Is that about right?
Well, I think we have enough. Really, we have enough of
So I
it.
think we're ready for the Vice President now.
I think we have enough of an interview here. Okay, that's enough. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go meet for 2 seconds, okay? Thanks. I'll see you later. Thanks.
So there you go, working out of the interview conference. Well, he is neck and neck with Joe Biden in North Carolina. Let's take a look at that report. And of course, he won't take that from any journalist.
Dancing Donald certainly looks like a winner.
I love our president.
He's just going to be awesome for our kids to have a great future.
Trump train, baby.
At rallies across the nation, the president reassures the American people the virus is on the run.
That pandemic is rounding the corner. They hate it when I say it. You turn on to this MSDNC and fake news CNN, all you hear is...
Well, like it or not, he seems to have quite a large followers, and he is gaining popularity, I must say, because, when I look at some of the social media posts where people are talking about Biden and about him, all of a sudden some of the people who were very critical of him are now saying, maybe what is our choice there? His ways and means are quite different, but, even sitting in a press interview, if it's not going the way, and if they're just asking some questions that, he feels that are not appropriate, he doesn't mind telling them. He will tell them that, no, that is not right, and if he has to, he'll walk out. Well, right now, let's take a look at functions and events that are taking place in Brisbane. As I said before, that don't forget that a lot of functions and events are at this point in time taking place virtually. And of course, with easing of restrictions, there's many more functions that would now be taking place, partially in person and partially, of course, with a side step of being live casted as well. So many functions will have that way. There will be few people who will be attending the functions and others who will have an opportunity to view that online or join via online. Well, right now, let's take a look at all the functions and events that are happening in Brisbane around from today onwards. I'll just take a minute to talk about Vishnu Maya Mandir and the grand Navratri celebrations that are taking place there. And of course, we know that it began on the 17th of October and it will be finishing on Sunday 25th of October with Mahanavami. So everyone's invited to come and attend that. Queensland Multicultural Council end of year dinner function. Book your spots now. As we know that every year the event gets sold out, and this year because of the COVID restrictions there's limited seats available, so please, it's on Eventbrite, go and book your seats now. And I must mention that Gopio Diwali dinner is also happening. So if you like to, search that on Eventbrite, you can book in for that as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been wonderful having your company today on the late edition. And of course, we've got an update of the weekend weather as well. And just for your information, we won't have a live segment tomorrow. If chances allow, we might have it on Sunday. Tomorrow is the state conference for White Ribbon, so we will be busy with that all of tomorrow. It's been wonderful having your company, and check our website, and if you are a subscriber, you would receive the EDM today of what's happening in and around Brisbane as well. And don't forget our upcoming issue, and Dr. Charita Deshpande has informed you about the deadlines and how you can get your articles and of course your ad bookings into this month's edition. So until next time, it's goodbye from me. Have a wonderful weekend, and of course the grand final tomorrow. Many people are saying it's for the first time ever it's happening here in Brisbane, so this is history in the making, and 30,000 plus already sold out, because that's the number that is allowed given the size and the percentage that the authorities are working with. So hopefully, and one plea to everyone is that there has always been a report that during the finals there is always a reported number of cases of domestic violence increases. So please stay calm, watch your footy, watch the game, and be patient with others. Have respect for others around you as well. And of course, if someone's keen watching that game, leave him or her alone. Let them enjoy the match, because I know at that time the energy level is high, emotions are running high, and if someone disturbs someone snaps at someone, and that's all it takes to start. So, be careful, be vigilant, and be safe. Until next time, it's goodbye from me.